Greetings to you. I hope that you are doing well today, and I thank you for tuning in to our fourth community reopening update. First, let me say a word of thank you to our parents for completing the reopening survey that I sent out to you last week via email. Nearly 75% of you have now responded so far, and I look forward to seeing additional responses this week. Most of you indicated that you are ready for your daughters to return to in-person instruction on site. But several of you indicated that you have hesitations. A few of you also indicated that your daughters will be learning remotely from home this semester. This week, the reopening task force work groups have met to complete work on the two reopening plans that are due to the state. The plan for the Department of Health, which is due this Friday, today, and the plan for the State Education Department that is due next Friday, August 7th. We put these plans together after reviewing yet two more new sets of guidelines from the CDC and the State Education Commission on Religious and Independent Schools. The news media report daily on the decisions that other governors and mayors are making regarding reopening schools in their areas. Some delaying the school start date, some deciding to begin the year in remote learning mode only. We await the decision of our governor and our local officials as well. In addition, our consultants at Independent Schools Management have shared with us some of the plans from independent schools across the country. We've used all of these resources to inform our planning at Holy Names. So according to our plan, and with regard to health and safety, Holy Names will require face coverings be worn at all times except while eating, and that social distancing of 6 feet be maintained at all times. That goes to 12 feet for aerobic activities and for singing activities. We will provide additional cleaning and disinfection services and supplies. We will provide additional health office staffing to meet the extra requirements for screening, monitoring, isolating, and contact tracing that the Department of Health expects schools to do. We will require students and staff to screen for fever and symptoms prior to coming on campus, and will provide the software to do this. We will conduct our usual other safety drills, fire drills, lockdown drills, etc., according to the guidelines from the Department of Health and the State Education Department. We will expect students and staff to stay home when they are sick or symptomatic and to abide by the home sick policy and guidelines prior to returning to in-person learning. According to the Holy Names Plan, with regard to academics, we will provide a hybrid model of instruction, giving families the choice for in-person or remote learning for their daughters. The hybrid model will be a synchronous one, meaning providing instruction to students both in the classroom and students at home at the same time via Zoom. We will provide training for our teachers in the techniques and technologies that will make the hybrid model effective for both the students in class and those at home. We have developed a schedule somewhat similar to the schedule that we used in the spring that will function whether we are in hybrid mode or distance learning mode. The schedule will allow for daily homeroom period, for transition time between classes, and for longer lunch periods. We know that there are times when teachers may need to be home, not because they are ill, but because a family member is ill or quarantined. These teachers will still be able to teach from their remote site via Zoom, and we will provide appropriate supervision for their students who are in school during that class time. According to our plan, and with regard to athletics and extracurricular activities, the start of the fall season for interscholastic sports is delayed until September 21st, with no state or regional championship tournaments for the fall season. There is a possibility that there will be no fall sports at all, and that all sports will take place during overlapping and shorter seasons during second semester. Again, we await guidance from the governor. We will ask each club or activities advisor to submit a plan for how his or her activity can be accessible and take place effectively for interested students, whether those students are in school or at home. Many parents have indicated to us how important this aspect of their daughter's education is and how hopeful they are that we can continue our activities program this fall, and we will be making efforts to do so. According to our plan and with regard to student well-being has particular emphasis in all of the documents and guidelines that we have received, no matter the source. When we moved to distance learning last spring, we had already had many months to establish relationships with our students, all the way from September through March. But this coming year, especially with students new to our school and even with those simply new to some classes and some teachers, we will be taking pains at the beginning of the school year to pay particular attention to establishing the trusting relationships that will help students feel comfortable and supported in a very different learning environment. So we will ease into our school year, probably looking at a slower start to the school year, giving more time for orientation, training, and just getting on with each other in this new world that we will be in, and making sure that those at home feel as welcome and comfortable as those in the classroom. We will continue to provide advisor appointments, academic support services, and counseling services for our students to assure their success and well-being. I know that training for faculty, staff, students, and families is essential for our reopening plan to run smoothly, and we are committed to providing that in August. Our entire plan will soon be available on our website for your review. And in closing, I would just like to say, as much as we want everything to return to what we call normal, the truth is that school will look like a very different place when we open in September. And there will be many changes for all of us to get used to. Reminding ourselves to be flexible, to be open to change, reminding ourselves that this is a temporary situation, and reminding ourselves that we are strong enough to do pretty much anything that we are asked to do. All of those will go a long way toward creating a happy and productive experience for our students when we're back in school in September. I look forward to providing you with more details next week. Thank you for joining me today.